Hello. So I wanted to make this video to show you all different activities and hobbies you can do in 2025. That way you don't feel either bored or you want to expand your mind or just feel more creative and more productive. So I curated about 20, like over 20 activities and hobbies you can do this year and the following years. That way you can just have some more fun and don't feel bored and don't maybe not use social media as much. I don't know. You can still use social media if you want, but maybe if you're trying to use it less, these are some things that can help you. So I'm going to do this by free activities to like inexpensive to like not expensive, but just maybe more an investment, if you will. And I'm using these as like basis of things I've done before. So, these are all like things I found to be pretty good to do, and maybe you will too. So, the first activity I have is reading. I believe that reading is really inspiring for me. I think that it helps with creative thinking and my vocabulary as well. So, I believe reading would be really great to start with. It's free, as in you can go to the library. If you have a local library, I'm hoping you can find resources there. And I believe that if you have a library card, you can also access a app called Libby. And Libby is a free resource where you can listen to audiobooks, you can listen to magazines. I believe you can also read there, like not just using the audiobook, you can just like read PDF files. So I haven't used Libby that much. I mostly just have books that I've been trying to catch up on in my little mini library. But, I believe that those resources are really great. This part isn't free, but I guess maybe I can skip that to the inexpensive. Okay, maybe I'll skip that resource in the inexpensive section. But anyway, my next free resource is writing. I write a little bit, not too much. I used to write a lot of poetry when I was in high school and a little bit of my undergrad. And I found it to be really helpful just to get my mind off things or even just to think about my life and think about life in general. Writing could be either writing poetry, it could be journaling. I also put like writing stories. I used to write stories, not very well, but I used to write little stories about just like things from my imagination, really. I don't remember what they were, but probably have to do with gnomes and fairy tale related things. But if you have a creative mind already and you just kind of want to put things down, I think that writing is great. Even if you don't have a cohesive, template that you want to have, you can just write it all and see what happens. I think that it's great just to have something down and work from that. So another free activity I have is walking. I put that, it's kind of like obvious, but I think that maybe walking outside 5 minutes each day just to get some fresh air. I think it's really good, even if honestly, this is probably not walking, obviously, but even having your window open and just getting some air in, it's not really a hobby, but I think that it's good to at least have some fresh air around you, if that makes sense. I think the walking part is probably more of what I meant to say, but just walking for like 5 minutes, 2 minutes each day, just, working your body and also just getting fresh air. And I think it helps clear your mind as well. So I like to walk at least 5 minutes each day. I don't do that each day, but I try to. But I do try to walk as much as I can throughout the week. I have photography on my list, and probably sounds strange, but I'm assuming most of us have phones. Hopefully this is inclusive enough, but I do think that if you have a phone, you can take pictures if you like, if that interests you. And it can be really anything. It doesn't have to be professional photos. It can be pictures of things around your house, things outside, things out your window. My like photo album on my phone is kind of just random things around my house. Like I'll find like my stuffed animals, or they look cute where they are, so I take a picture of that and I have it just to have memories of, oh yeah, like this is where I used to live. when I was 26, and this is how things looked in my bedroom. So I usually have pictures of things. That way I can look back later. I'm like, oh yeah, this is how like things were when I was this age, and I liked it. I have drawing. So kind of with writing, you can like get pieces of paper. You can, it doesn't have to be like a notebook. You can just have like, printer paper, um, really anything. I don't think you have to write just on paper. Just anything you have around your house, like scraps, even like a cardboard box from a cereal box. Like I used to, when I was a kid, I was so much more creative as a kid. But when I finished my cereal box, I would rip it up, use the box, and just kind of like put like pictures on it, write on it, draw on it. So I was very resourceful. I don't do that as much, but I think that'd be kind of cute to do still. But even doing that would be really great. I put yoga, which definitely is very great. Yoga slash meditation, I think, is great. I also try to do that as much as I can. I don't do it as much, but I used to do it a lot a couple years ago. And you don't need like a yoga mat or anything. I just find that even using my carpet, I would do yoga, I would meditate more, and I felt like just doing it every day, even like 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, I think that it's really great. Um, Again, I don't know if it's like a hobby, but it's an activity, and I think that it's a good activity to clear your mind as well. Learning a language I've put because you can learn languages for free. I haven't, I know Duolingo has like a free option. I've used it so many times. Again, these are all things that I've done, not great at, but I've done, and I've used Duolingo, and I just can't seem to learn languages, period. Doesn't matter what resource I use. I think my brain just doesn't work that way. There is a free resource that I use when it comes to ASL, and it's the Oklahoma School for the Deaf. And I've used this a few times, and it's a free resource. You can learn ASL using it. There's also some apps that I'll put around here, learning ASL as well. I find those to be a little bit more easier for me, and I find it a little easier for me to learn ASL. Again, I'm not great at it yet, but it's easier for me to use and to learn. So I recommend ASL specifically if you wanted to learn a language, but really any language. I think Duolingo, I think there's other free apps and even YouTube videos you can use. You don't have to use apps. I'm sure there's like YouTube videos you could search like, oh, how to learn Spanish or French or anything like that. I think there's resources for that. I put volunteering as a hobby, but maybe that sounds weird. Not a hobby, but just, again, a thing to do to, better yourself, better the community. I think that volunteering is really great. I wish I did it more, but there's not too many places here to volunteer at. Like there's like a local food bank I like volunteering at. But you can do other volunteerings. I'm sure, like if you live in a bigger city, there's probably more opportunities to volunteer. When it comes to either planting trees or, again working at a local food bank or helping thrift stores or so places to just help out more in the community. I think that's really great. I put attending community events. Kind of random, but there's free local workshops around me. There you can do like learning how to sew or participating in game nights or things like that. I haven't attended in a long time. When I used to live in a bigger city, those were things I used to do, but again, living where I live now, it's a little harder to find local events. Maybe you can start one. Maybe I could start one. I don't know. I'm a little shy, so maybe I won't do that, but if you want to do that, you can start a workshop so that can work out well. I put learn a skill on YouTube. I guess that kind of coincides with learning a language on YouTube. But yeah, I would say it's learning a skill on YouTube. You can search really anything like how to do this. I actually been trying to figure out how to work on cars, not like professionally, but just, do like easy maintenance, like changing like a tire or changing oil, things like that. I think, again, not a hobby, but learning a skill would be great. I would like to learn that skill. I put collecting. So there's could be different tiers of that. So like the free option, I think that I do all the time still is collecting stones and rocks from outside. I collect like pine cones and acorns. Just make sure that they're, you brush it off just to make sure there's like no like bugs in it, hiding in it, or anything like that. Unless you want that, but I doubt you would. Or maybe you do. I won't judge. But I like to collect rocks, stones, even leaves, which kind of leads to my next free activity, which is pressing flowers slash pressing leaves. I do those all the time. I wonder if I can let me find my notebook 1 second. Okay, so I have my notebook of plants I would press. So, it doesn't have to be just flowers. Like I've pressed like leaves. This is a sweet fern. I love this one a lot. But there's like a eastern red cedar. Do I have any flowers? Oh, I guess I have one flower. So this flower, this is, I actually forget what flower this is, but this leaf, I think, is from a dogwood. But anyway, so even like collecting leaves, pressing them, learning about them, I usually try to search what these could possibly be. But these specifically, these are from my, what's it called? My tree ID class. So I took some leaves that we learned about and wrote them in here, which is why I mostly know the names, but I also been trying to learn more about them too. So this is a ginkgo, this one. So this is one of my favorite activities to do, along with collecting stones and such. So I recommend that a lot. So let's see. So yeah, that's like the free category. So let's go to the inexpensive one. So the inexpensive and expensive will be kind of short because I feel like my main purpose is to get people to do free things, save money, but also have fun. So inexpensive activity, gardening. I think it's inexpensive, at least in my eyes. I don't have a lot of funds to do like really, really, expensive things. So I feel like gardening is one of the great things. I like to get my seeds either from like a seed trading community. You can use like buy nothing groups. That's another thing I should mention too. Like overall, everything that I say, if there's things that you want to do that does cost money, I recommend using buy nothing groups. I think like on Facebook, or I don't know where else they have buy nothing groups, but I use Facebook for buy nothing groups. And I think it's great because you can get resources, like anything, not anything you want, but like mostly anything you would want. You could ask the community for, either advice on where to get them for free, or if people have things that they don't need anymore or that you'd want, I'm sure they can lend it to you or even just give it to you. I think it's great. I use buy nothing groups all the time for not even just like hobbies, but for furniture, for clothes. Anyway, so for gardening, I like to use either buy nothing groups to get my seeds, local communities, even Dollar Tree. So that would be the more inexpensive part because you're actually paying for the seeds. But you can grow like herbs, flowers, even like fruit and vegetables. But I mostly just grow herbs and some flowers, but they don't really do that well. So I just usually do herbs. So I recommend that. Dollar Tree is really great. So I put DIY crafts, which is kind of, I don't remember why I put that, but I guess, I use Pinterest to find different DIY crafts. I guess in that sense, that could be really anything. I don't know why I put that, but for example, let's see, let me show you something that I have. So I went to Dollar Tree. Sorry, my hair's a little bit puffy and curly at the top. I don't know why, but I went to Dollar Tree the other day and I found these cute little mushrooms that they have. So there's like 2 types that they had. I actually painted them, the tops, but they're all like this color all around, but I painted them different colors the other day and I thought it was like really fun. And the pack of these, like one pack of this shape, I think it was like 10 for $1.25, and the same thing that there's like 10 of these for $1.25 in a pack. And I just painted them. I thought it was cute. I have them sitting on my windowsill right now. I have other ones everywhere else, so they're around the house right now. But I really like doing DIY crafts. I find them on Pinterest, or I just kind of walk around Dollar Tree and see, like I go to the craft section and see what looks cool to do. So I can probably show you a couple more things that I have. So one second. Okay, so these, oh my gosh, sorry. So these, the wood parts, like the wood planks I get, plaques, wooden plaques, I'm sorry. I found these at Dollar Tree, you know, $1.25. I painted them brown. I think originally the color was like the same as the mushrooms, like a beige, like, you know, wood color. But I got some pressed flowers and moss, and I just glued them onto these like wooden plaques. And that was like a really fun activity. So I guess this is what I mean by DIY, just kind of finding random things around your house or around Dollar Tree specifically because it's cheap there. And just start having fun. I just kind of thought of this. I think I saw something related to this on Pinterest, and I was like, let me try to mimic it. So, you know, one's for my friend, one's for me, and I just kind of have it. I guess that you can see that I took it from there. So, yeah, I thought it was great. Okay, down the list. Painting. So, kind of the things I showed. I paint either on a canvas. I'll try to maybe post, like, put some paintings that I've done in the past, but I love painting. I think it's really, really calming and just really, I don't know, it just feels really good to do. I wish I did it more often, but for some reason it's one of those activities that I don't do as much as everything else. I think like I've been doing more activities, so like that's kind of like been the back burner, but I still want to try to keep doing it. And so, you know, on a canvas, I like to paint on rocks mostly. Like I've been painting on rocks a lot lately. Actually, let me show one rock painting I've done. Okay, so this is a rock painting I've done. I thought it was really great. I have a few of these. I'll try to put some also on there that I've ones that I've done, but I love painting on rocks mostly. I love painting on wood. I guess you can't see it, but yeah. Painting on wood, you know, painting those little mushrooms. I think just painting anywhere would be fun. Even like, well, maybe not using this is pretty thin paper, but you know, again, you can get your paint and painting supplies at Dollar Tree. It's not sponsored by Dollar Tree. I just love it a lot because it's been really helpful to try new stuff. And if you don't like it, it's not too much of a money waste. You know, like I find that when I used to go to Michael's or such and buy all these things because I was really excited to learn, and then I get discouraged or something, then I'm like, well, I spent like $28 on like, you know, a couple things versus spending like $5 for a few things at Dollar Tree. So that's mostly why I'm seeing that as a resource. So yeah, I say painting is great. Oh, this is so heavy. One second. Okay, so the next activity I have is scrapbooking. And scrapbooking, I like a lot. I tried it and I haven't done it too much. It's not something that I'm like super interested in, but I think that it's really fun to do in general. People who love. So I would say, sorry, scrapbooking and also, oh, I just had the word, mood boards, is that what they call it? I have done those a few times, and I think that it's really great to have like photos around, like a, you know, a notebook or like a poster board. I think it's pretty fun. I don't know too much about like really if there's like a point to it. I think maybe that's why I haven't tried as much, because when I tried it, I kind of just put random, you know, pictures I found from newspapers and magazines and just kind of pasted and wrote things about it. But I think I like journaling more than scrapbooking, but if you want to try that, I think that's pretty fun. So I still put collecting as an inexpensive option. Because for that part, you know, you can collect like stamps, you know, those cost a little money, but if you like stamps, you can collect stamps, collect stickers. I collect stickers, and it definitely is like, could be expensive at some points because I've spent probably so much money on stickers, but I love stickers. So I could possibly show, I could probably do like a sticker collection tour. I really have a lot, so I'm not going to show them right now, but and I put unique items, so I think that this could range from inexpensive to expensive depending on where you get these items. You know, I think going to vintage stores or antique stores would be really cool to start collecting items. You can There's a store near me that has a bunch of skulls or animal related skulls or like, taxidermy related things. So obviously that could be expensive, but they have a lot of different things you can collect from there, and some of them aren't too expensive. So yeah, I would say collecting stuff would be good. Then I put board games. So I'm thinking like D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, or Warhammer. I think like those things could be, well, those things are expensive. Collecting like the minis and everything could be expensive, but just you don't have to like buy into like all the stuff you need for board games. I find that when I was playing with friends, we would use like Discord. One of my friends would be like the dungeon master, and we just kind of printed character sheets, and we just started playing using those. Like, it wasn't too expensive. You don't need to buy a bunch of like expensive dice. You don't need to buy a bunch of expensive things. You can just kind of use resources you have and make stuff as you go. So yeah. So expensive section, last part. I put photography again. So, I think having like a DSLR camera would be really, really great investment if you really want to get into photography, like as a professional thing, even as a hobby thing. I remember when I did photography as a hobby, I've had a DSLR camera and a mirrorless camera. So it is expensive for sure, but I really had fun using those instead of my phone. So if you want to do photography and, have more expensive equipment, I guess you can use those equipments. I put pottery. It's funny that I put that because it's not like I've done it, but I have things to do pottery. I just haven't done it yet. But I went to Michael's the other day to buy clay, and that was kind of expensive. Clay and like the resin thing that you use to set the clay and set the paint, that if you paint your product that you made, it's expensive, really. But I thought it was really fun when I was looking at people make these really cute items, so I bought stuff. I'm very impulsive sometimes when it comes to the creative stuff. I will let y'all know how that goes. I don't know really how it'll go. Hopefully it's easy. Sewing. So there's like sewing, quilting, embroidery, all kind of in the same realm of things. I've done sewing. I have made a couple things on my own. Maybe I can try to show like one thing. 1 second. So I've made this skirt on my own. I mean, it's not the best looking thing. I also have a skirt behind this, so don't mind that. But, I've added a few buttons, like 3. This one is like hiding. But this is made out of a bed sheet that I've used. So it's just like a cute little, I think, A-line skirt, as people call it. I don't know. I've made that. I've upcycled some clothes from thrift stores. So I've gotten like denim dresses that I really like, but were a little bit bigger on me. So I've made it to my size. So sewing is really fun. I think that it's one of like the more fun hobbies I've been doing lately. I got some more fabric, so I'm going to try to make something else. I don't know what yet. I got the fabric just because I liked it, but I haven't thought of like what to use it for. Maybe a skirt or a vest. I think that'd be really cool. And then quilting. Quilting I haven't done too much of. I tried once and it was hard for me, but I think it's really pretty, the stuff you can make from it. And embroidery I've also tried a couple times, and I'm not the best at it, but I think it's also really cute. I would go on Pinterest and search up embroidery patterns. You can get like those like water soluble embroidery patterns, and you can use that guideline to sew, flowers and leaves, and it's like really pretty. I think it's a fun activity to do. Okay, I was like, am I recording still? So then I have, the last few things I have is calligraphy. Again, I don't know why I put this, I haven't done calligraphy really. I'm trying to do things, I'm trying to say things that I've done. I think I've done calligraphy in art class before, and I like don't know. And I think some people can find interest in this. I put it because I think someone out there would like it. I find it, I didn't think it was that interesting, but I think it's cool the things people can write, and you can write letters to people in calligraphy, so that's really cool. I like seeing people do that. I just think for myself it's not that fun when I do it because I suck at it. I put baking. That's pretty fun. Oh, sorry. Did I go? Yeah, I'm in expensive category. Sorry. I'm a little over the place. But baking I really like. It can get expensive depending on the things that you use, like the different like baking products you use, or even like the baking pans, everything like that. I think those are can be pricey, but it's worth it because you make really tasty stuff. I like baking cookies, cupcakes, cakes, brownies. I want to try making a donut. I think that'd be really cool to make. I never tried that before, but I feel like that'd be really fun. And then I put learning an instrument. Is my okay now? My guitar is on the side. I have played guitar before. My dad has taught me. I'm okay at it. I'm not like the best. I used to be pretty good at it when I lived with my parents, but I haven't had a guitar in years, so it's kind of just something I have to get back into again and start playing again. But when I was playing it, I loved it a lot. I'm sure there's other instruments you can try that are more easier. Maybe the harmonica. I have one, and I like playing the harmonica as well. But people can play like the violin, um, electric guitar. I think those are all great, and you can also find those things on YouTube. How to learn these uh, activities. Really, everything that I put you can learn on YouTube. That's kind of where I've been trying to learn most of my hobbies. Like sewing, I've been like learning how to make like certain things from YouTube, embroidery, playing guitar. What else did I put? Really just anything. Drawing, painting, like I've been using tutorials how to paint certain things. So I think that these resources, oh, I'm sorry. I totally forgot. So I meant to put for the inexpensive category for reading, I like to use thrift books. You can go to thrift stores as well and find books that you like, but I like using the website thrift books. I think they have a lot of great um, categories of books. They have quite a few, like I would say a good range of books. I would say, all the books that I have been wanting to buy and read, I found it on there. So I think that, it speaks for itself. There's like horror, fantasy, science fiction, autobiographies, really just like so many things. So that's what I meant to put. Anyway, so thank you for watching this. I hope that one of these catches your eye and you start doing these. It's a little late in the month for me to make this video, but I really wanted to try to get this out. So hopefully you find fun this year and like you are happy this year and everything works out for you and that everything is, wonderful and great. Thank you.